What's up, kings and queens? I want to welcome y'all back to another episode of the Black Business Mindset. And we have an incredible Black business mind with us today. Queen, please introduce yourself.
Greetings, peace and blessings. I am MerySerket, Ani Tefnut of Windows of Wellness.
Alrighty, short and sweet. So, tell me, how long have you been on your own personal holistic journey?
My journey started, I want to say part of my journey started as a teenager, getting into natural remedies, reading books on natural remedies. My mother seemed to have, those how-to books at home.
Okay.
And obviously, in my mindset, medication was bad. So I said, let me take echinacea, and it would, help alleviate issues that I've dealt with. Taking or drinking vitamin C, just a variety of different things. Then as I got older, I got into crystals. I was always one with nature, crystals, rocks, plants, and so forth. And then by 2009 is when I really just went full throttle with it and started realizing that there's more to healing, meeting people that also were healing. I wasn't alone in healing.
Understood.
And it just elevated from that point.
Okay. So you said 2009, you took off like a rocket.
Yes.
Would that be the same year you started business thinking, or would it be more or less you fully immersed yourself?
I fully immersed myself. I had no inkling of wanting to be a business owner at all.
Understood. So what brought you to the business side, to the service side of this?
Well, one, I was in dentistry, and that being in dentistry formed that office managerial skills, noticing, different things that were going on in different offices that I worked at. When the office manager wasn't there, people just gravitated to coming to me, and then I had to take care of things. And I was just always had to joke back in my mind, if I ever own a business, or when I have my own dentist office, I had the skills already. I didn't realize that it was honing me for something else. But through trying to heal myself, my own personal mission of healing, of alleviating ailments, female issues, full metabolic issues, that's when I went full throttle and started reading books and seeing that there were people of color that actually had books out that was for self-healing. So my own personal journey took forth from that. When I decided to go into holistic health, to take a course to heal myself, I'm listening to all the things that we're learning, and I'm like, wait a minute, my sister, my friends, my coworkers, my family, everybody that I knew had an issue, or myself that had an issue. And I was like, wow, I could just tell them that. And the course pretty much geared towards becoming an entrepreneur. But again, my mindset was like, no, I'm doing this for me.
Understood. So it's always been more of a personal passion, and it just turned into something you felt would be beneficial for others.
Yes.
Okay. With that being said, do you find it difficult to practice the holistic lifestyle in this Western society we live in?
When you're starting out, it's very difficult. I started in 2009. I've met people through that were doing it in the 80s. And they're like, y'all have it good, because we didn't have a store to go to. We either had to grow our own stuff or travel far to get to a store that actually sold, natural foods or herbs or so forth. Or you had to know, somebody in the community that actually sold herbs and so forth. So when I started, it was that transitional point where the supermarkets started having vegan foods. I started learning where holistic stores were. And that pretty much, helped it. Now, here we are in 2020. There's so many options. So I would say, in my opinion, it's a lot easier for people to gravitate to holistic practices. Whereas, 2009 and below, where you had to find somebody that was doing yoga, doing meditation, doing, all different types of natural healing modalities. So.
Okay. So you kind of answered my next question as well. But I was going to ask about the increase into the holistic lifestyle and things like that, because I myself have noticed the increase of people that are helping to heal in more unorthodox ways, or so to speak, in Western society.
Yes.
So instead, I would ask, would you consider holistic healing more personal than visiting a doctor?
100% yes, I would.
Okay.
Okay. We deal with the person holistically, mind, body, spirit. Okay. Emotional. We tackle all aspects of a person. Whereas the medical field, the allopathic field, they deal with just the physical aspect. They don't go into the spiritual, and I'm not talking religion at all. They don't go into the mental, and if they do see a mental, then that's another practitioner that you would see. But they don't come together and say, "Hey, this patient yada yada has this issues and so forth." Whereas holistically, we automatically are assessing you spiritually, mentally, and physically to see where the imbalances are, and then taking it from there with your healing. So that's the break in between the two.
Okay. And I'm in agreement that that's a good thing. I'm sure you are as well.
Yes.
Because I definitely believe a lot of times doctors look at symptoms, and sometimes the symptoms can be so misleading, and they don't know or dig any further than what's on that surface. So I definitely think that's way better.
I learned in the dental field that we dealt with a lot of different patients, different ages, and they would always we would have to go over their health history and update any medications and so forth. And the constant thing that I always heard was my doctor said he doesn't know what's wrong. He doesn't know how this happened. And I'm sitting there with my holistic mindset, like, this is insane. This can't be, how do you pay this person? Why are you going to this person? But it's just the differences that I had to really learn to understand. So.
But I understand that. So with, I know that you are versed in therapeutic therapy, massage therapy, correct?
Yes.
As well as Reiki.
Yes.
Okay. Other than those two methods, what other methods may you be familiar with? Say acupuncture or psychotherapy, things of that nature. Is there anything else?
Yes. I am slowly easing into psychotherapies. I do emotional freeing technique, which helps to dig deep into the emotional aspects the traumas that we've dealt with in our youth, and that occur presently, causing symptoms or causing sleep deprivation, weight, whatever the case, whatever disorder we're dealing with. I do aromatherapy, which also I incorporate into the EFT, because our nose, just by breathing an aroma, changes the cellular breakdown in our bodies, changes the messages in our bodies, can promote healing, can help to eliminate cellular breakdown, or whatever the case may be. But these breakdowns are just traumas and emotions and experiences that we've dealt with that we're trying to free. So as far as acupuncture, I personally don't do acupuncture, but I do acupressure, working on the meridian points.
Okay, but that would be with your actual fingers pressing actual points.
Yes.
Okay. Understood. So you're quite deep.
I try, yeah.
Alrighty. You're getting into it. That's amazing. Because there's I got lost trying to research so I can come in here and have some good questions to ask. But that is definitely amazing. Me personally, I'm very I like the idea of psychotherapy. Our minds are very, very complex. And I believe it's a lot of things, as you said, smells. You could do similar things with sounds, you know what I mean, to help heal the body and things like that. So I'm definitely, like, I didn't realize it, but I'm definitely into it.
Yeah, it's wonderful.
What would you advise someone who may be freshly starting, and they may not be hip to the actual community and know many people? How would you advise them to get started?
Luckily, in this day and age, you can Google school everything and YouTube school. That's the easiest. It's inexpensive. We all have access to the internet. Just type in what is and whatever it is you're looking up. How to whatever it is that you're looking up. And then just, I always advise people, don't get stuck on the first link. Click on all of them, get different aspects, different wording, to really understand what Reiki is, what aromatherapy is, what massage is, different types of massage, the benefits of these practices. So therefore that starts to, the aspect of being curious helps you to research, and want to learn more. And then as you delve deeper into it, you're like, wow, you know what? I really want to, try this.
Yes.
And then the universe just does the rest. So
yes, okay, that's quite simple. I think a lot of people do make things more difficult than necessary. So, what would you say was your biggest challenge?
Okay, that's easy. My biggest challenge was stepping out of my box. I was semi-introverted. In dentistry, it was just work, dentistry, stay in a room, in the operatory, work with the patient, and then send them on their way. But I was stuck in a cubicle, and so to speak. And it kept me away from the world and not really interacting with people on a personal level. Once I started doing and learning about holistic health, I had no choice but to follow the divine guidance that was set forth for me, which was to lecture. And I'm like, what lecturing means speaking in front of people. I don't do that.
Understood.
And that was a big challenge. And then being the little comedian that I am, I'm like, but this isn't like stand-up comedy. This is like trying to educate people and that mindset of school, and I'm teaching. And so that really was a challenge until a friend of mine has said, the biggest advice that I can give you, he sat through my lecture and he's like, the biggest advice that I can give you is be yourself. And I'm like, huh? It was so hard. It really was.
It is.
Probably took a good 2 years before I finally was more comfortable about being myself, being vulnerable in front of people and speaking. I was that voice. I had that voice that needed to tell people things that nobody wants to talk about. And I'm not ashamed to talk about things people don't want to talk about. And I'm like, I needed people to talk about these things to me, and no one was there. So spirits is just like, well, then you need to go out there and talk to people.
Be there for somebody else.
Yeah. So that was my biggest challenge.
That's a lot of people's big challenges. I guess it's kind of like taking the first step, really. It's the hardest step to take.
Yes.
With the influx of people becoming aware of crystals and energies and all these things like that, do you feel that the market is becoming oversaturated, or do you think it is irrelevant?
Oh no, it's definitely becoming oversaturated.
Okay.
Everybody wants to be in business of some sort, and everybody has likes, and it's like, okay, if you like it, then keep it to yourself.
Understood.
If it's a passion, then practice it. If it's a drive, then you need to go out there. But we take our interests and take them as drive with no knowledge, no experience. And now we're here like, I'm going to start a business and I'm going to sell crystals. And you've only healed or worked, not even healed, you've only worked with 8. And there's a billion.
Crystals, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
There's different names. Even when I started with crystals, I had my 5 books, and that's what I thought were all crystals, until I went to a lecture and found out this other name of crystals and apophylites and all these, weird names. And I'm just like, what stone? I'm looking through my book like, these aren't in my book.
Yeah. Yeah. They go down in some of those caves, and some of that stuff is it's been down there for so long, and it's so rare that we don't get it regularly.
Yeah.
So I definitely understand that. To be honest, I bought some amethyst recently, the purple crystals with the clusters. And I believe the other crystal was like white with like orange on top of it, and it was supposed to be citrine, I believe. Yep. And I looked at it, and then we looked it up, and it was saying that some people cook amethyst to make it look like citrine. And it was kind of took me back a little, because it's like, man, we will find anything to find a way to just to hustle.
Yeah, people are buying glass and don't realize it.
Exactly. The little polished stones, if you don't really know what you're getting into, some of those are not real minerals. So I definitely appreciate individuals who are genuine in what they do, actually study, because it's a lot more than just holding crystals and things like that.
You're messing with people's lives, their energy. People don't realize the thing that we don't see is our energy field. And just by you sitting, giving hope to someone that this stone, this orange stone is a citrine,
Yes.
and it's carnelian, and it will help your womb healing and so forth. And you're like, yes. And then you go home and not realize that it's a piece of plastic. There's nothing in it. There's nothing that's going to help you. And then you get discouraged because now you're like, oh, crystals don't work. No, you were sold a dud. It's just like buying a car.
Exactly.
You don't know if you have a lemon until you start driving and working with it.
Exactly.
So, so you have to be careful. You have to learn to feel. Crystals was my first start. So now, I can't go into crystal stores because it's just like, okay. I feel it. Who wants to play?
Yes.
But if I'm touching this, I'm just like, yeah, something's not right. I don't question it or anything. I just know something's not right. And I put it right back down. But I know when I'm feeling something, if it's authentic and I'm feeling the energies from it, is pulling something from me and so forth. And I'm like, okay, yeah, you need to come home. So.
See, that's amazing. But that does keep a lot of people in, because I'm a type of person where after I learn the tricks to the trade to try to get over, it kind of brings me to a point where I don't really jump out there myself. Honestly, I would go try to find my own crystals and rocks before I go buy them.
Yeah.
Because I know
it's fun.
How people are. Yes, it is fun. I've definitely got my eye on some hiking trails. I'm trying to get back into nature and things like that.
Good.
But I got just one more question for you.
Okay.
This is my favorite question. In 5 years, where do you see yourself?
So 5 years from now, I see myself in my own building. There's other modalities that I want to have, not myself, but other therapists come and do. So definitely my own building. I'm just questioning if I want to be like a Victorian house, modeled after one of my mentors when I lived in Jersey. She had a Victorian house, and it was just amazing because of all the rooms.
Right. Yeah. Okay.
And you have different rooms and different, a sauna in one, a colonic, hydrocolonic therapy in another, massage, or Reiki, whatever the case may be, womb healing. So in my mind, I just have different rooms. So depending on the real estate market and what's going on, either I'll be in a building or something that looks like a home. And, I want people to feel at home when you're healing. So.
Okay. I usually don't ask the follow-up, but I'm going to ask it.
Okay.
Do you have it written down?
Yes, I do.
Yes. Amazing. That is amazing.
It's been revised a few times, but yes.
I felt like you had it written down. I felt like that's why I wanted to ask it. But I'm going to start asking everybody that, because we should definitely write our goals down, whatever we trying to plan for. Yeah. But this was an amazing interview.
Thank you.
I really appreciate it. So if you could let the public know one more time where they can find you, what's your specialty and what you can do for them.
So I am, again, MerySerket Anitefnut. You can Google Windows of Wellness. You can go on Facebook and look up Windows of Wellness or the Wellness Mission. The Wellness Mission is more of the events that I do, or if I'm vending somewhere. But the Windows of Wellness page is all healing services. I do nutritional consulting, therapeutic body work, Reiki, EFT coaching, life coaching, lectures. Yes, I have to look at my card now. Lectures and so forth. Everything just to help people to heal their spirit, minds, and bodies. You can look up Windows of Wellness. You can contact me by phone I just changed my number. So it's 757-797-0992. And we can talk if you ever have any questions. Questions are always free. I tell people we pay when we don't ask questions and don't gain information or guidance or knowledge. So questions are always free. Don't hesitate to contact me for anything.
That is amazing. Those are all gems. Knowledge is definitely precious. We need to get some. And we're out.
Thank you.